So today we're taking a look at two different models of iron in the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall. We've got the Taylormade P790 and the Titleist AP3. Take a look at how they perform. So the Taylormade P790, Titleist AP3, very recent releases from both these companies. Very similar iron in terms of who they're aimed at and what they're supposed to do. So we thought we'd give them a bit of a test today and see how they perform. Now, I'm seeing a lot of my customers that are coming for custom fittings walking out the door with one or the other of these irons for a few different reasons. One, I think when you're actually sitting down and look at them, they look like a very good player's iron, so a traditional kind of blade when you sit it down, but perform very much like a cavity. So there's a bit more forgiveness in there. Certainly, when we compare them to other irons of similar size, we're seeing more distance, we're seeing a bit more forgiveness, and we're also seeing tighter dispersion as well. So not only are we getting similar ball speeds from heel and toe strikes, but also we're getting balls that are actually going a bit longer as well than your traditional bladed club would. So I'm going to hit a few on the Trackman now. I've just put them both the same spec. They're standard length, standard lie, stiff flex shaft. So we're just going to see how they perform against each other, and we'll take a look at the Trackman numbers at the end. So we've hit both of the irons now. When we look at the Trackman numbers, we can see there's very little difference between them. When we look at Taylormade, we can see 176 carry, 183 total, so it's that little bit longer than what I'm currently using. And with the AP3, 174, 179. So it's difficult to split the two. We're looking sort of 3 yards more, 4 yards more maybe distance with Taylormade. That's in terms of total distance, maybe only 2 yards through the air. So we can see that the amount of spin that I'm getting with the Taylormade is significantly lower. Now, in terms of ball speed off the face, they're very similar. So there's not really a lot to choose between the two. If I had to pick one, to be honest, I prefer the look in the playing position of the Titleist, but probably the feel of the Taylormade. I think that speed foam in the head really just makes it sound a bit more like a blade, really, when you're playing with it, and I quite like that about it. Although these are much stronger lofted than what I'm using in my current set, they seem to go about the same distance. Now, when I've certainly done fittings for players here at the club, they found that these are going miles further than the current irons that they're using week in, week out. So I guess the only real way for you to know is to come and try them. I mean, I would recommend both. They're very, very good irons. They look great. If you're that sort of player who traditionally has been a blade iron player, maybe wants a bit more forgiveness, I'd definitely look at both of these. They're certainly an iron well worth a look, and I really, really think that you'd probably go home pretty happy. They're going to look great, and you're going to probably gain maybe the few yards that you've potentially lost over the last few years. So come down to the Performance Centre, have a bit of a look. If you want to try these irons out, we've got the full fitting system for both. Come and see me here at Howley Hall.